Hey YouTube, this is Rasmussen Park Fan 62. It is Wednesday, September the 27th at about 5:30. In today's video, I'm here to talk about the releases of last week. If you're not aware, last Thursday, I'll put the date in. WWE released around, I think it was 30 or so um, people. Everybody from main roster talent to NXT talent to even performance center talent. Now I'm here to talk about that. I will get into some of the performance center ones. I don't know much about them, so they're not gonna really be talked too much in this. Now the main ones who got cut at the beginning was Aaliyah, Emma, Mustafa Ali, Rick Boogs, um, Roderick Moss, and somebody else. I'm going to start with those. Um, Now, with Aaliyah, her problem was she was basically getting paid to stay home because creative had nothing for her. Her last TV appearance was on the September 12th episode of Raw, I believe it was, to lose her tag titles with her tag partner, Raquel Gonzalez. Now, I felt bad for her because she never, she was able to wrestle, but the problem was creative basically had nothing for her. Other than the small Natalia feud that she had, which only lasted, I believe it was around 3 weeks, give or take, she really has never had a proper feud that went on for a while. In NXT, she was in NXT for a very long time as well. She was in NXT for 6 years, I believe it was. But her problem in NXT was, like the main roster, it was an off and on type thing. It was never she started something and it went for 3, 4, 5 months. Then she would start something else. A lot of her feuds would only last maybe 2 months or so at that. And it was just one of those things where I felt bad for her because she came to wrestle and she did. But the problem was a lot of the time, she was never really done much with Roderick Moss and Emma. The bad part about them was Emma got brought back last year during Triple H's rehiring spree. And with Roderick Moss, he was one sort of Triple H's, or not Triple H, but late Vince's creations, I guess you could say. And the problem with them was toward the end, as soon as Triple H took over, was I just with Roderick Moss, Roderick Moss. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. It just seemed like they never really had much for him, and it sucks because he's a talented person. Now, while his comical side when he was with Baron Corbin on SmackDown was a little bit not funny. Um, and I'm sure he's a nice guy. With Emma, the problem with her was she never really quite got the proper run that she deserved. And it sucks because she's a talented person, and I just don't think they knew what to do with her. Because she was always either on she was always mostly on the losing side of things, or feature on something like Main Event, which is like the pre-show for Raw. And a lot of times with Main Event, it's mostly just for recap of the last week. Oh, another one was Top Dollar of Hit Row. With him, the problem with him was he was, I hate to sound like this, the butt of most people's jokes. Especially that one bosh that he did recently. With Mustafa Ali, he did ask for his release earlier this year, but they never granted him that. So I don't know if that's just them granting it or what. The main with him and Dana Brooke, they said they were making main roster money, well, either not doing much or on NXT. So I don't know about that. Now you had some NXTers in the mix as well. First was what was his name? Quincy Elliott. If you don't know who Quincy Elliott is, this was a new character they put on NXT around this time last year, who was a big guy like me, and he was out there, to say the least. I'm sure he was a nice guy as well. Apparently he was hard to work with backstage. If that's true or not, I'm not sure. There were some other people as well who got released, like I think it was part of the women's tag teams in NXT got released. I don't know much about them, so now there was some PC people who got one literally got hired this past spring. So the bad part about that is, unfortunately, they never got their time to shine. I don't know if it was just because they weren't getting better, like WWE thought, or what. So, and unfortunately, they have started this new thing where basically they're going to give you X amount of time, and if you don't improve, you're out. Which I think is a good idea in theory. It's just the way they're going to have to connect it. I will make a count of how many people got released and put it down below. I did a video last week about the releases of all the names for it. It is quite a few. The two that I forgot to mention in this video as well, who got released, who was on the main roster, but they were currently getting repackaged, was Mansoor and Masse. If you don't know who those were the two models for the former tag team, I guess you could say, for maximum male models. They were currently getting repackaged. It sounded like they were getting repackaged to NXT. I don't know if that's true, but that's what it was sounding like. But I know, especially with the NXTers, they can find work about this time next month. So luckily with them, they have only about 23 days left till they can start finding a job with like AEW, Impact Wrestling, the independent scene, or if like they're from overseas, they can maybe try and find it with some promotions over there. But for people like Ali, Dana Brooke, Massey, Mansoor, and all of them, unfortunately, they have a little bit longer. They have till about late December. I know, who was it? Ali, I think it was, or one of those people are starting bookings New Year's Day. I don't know if that's when their is up, because NXT is 30 days and Raw and SmackDown is 90 days. So, good luck to everybody, and good luck on your